Hi, everyone. It's Sunday evening. A very happy Easter to you. I hope you had a wonderful day. It's region weather meteorologist Matt Wintz. It's time for our Sunday evening region weather live. And as always, we've got lots to talk about. There's some snow coming. It's a little closer than on the way. It's already arriving in Northwest Indiana as we speak. We're going to talk about this system as it moves through. Yeah, we're going to get some slushy accumulation out of it in spots, not for everybody. But we'll talk about this. We'll talk about when it leaves, more importantly. And I think the most important thing is we have a big warm up later this week. It's that warm up that we talked about our last region weather live. It still looks like it's holding true. Some of the numbers look really nice. So we're going to talk about that in this special Sunday Easter evening edition of Region Weather Live. And welcome into the show, everyone. I hope you had a nice Easter. It was chilly today, but you know what? It was nice to see sunshine for a little bit. And, probably all in your chocolate comas now. I know we are in our house. I'm telling you, if there's something that I have a weakness to, it's chocolate, especially in my kids' Easter baskets. I don't know how that goes for the rest of you, but I've had way too much today, and I've even exercised, and I still don't feel too good. So we'll see how that goes. But anyway, I hope you had a nice day. Want to say hi to all those joining us here. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Sunday evening. Cassandra, happy Easter to you. I have good news for you, I promise. Vicky, hello. Faith, happy Easter evening to you as well. Other Vicky Lee from Hobart, hello. Thanks for joining us. Mary, thank you very much. Happy Easter to you and your family as well. Mark, this is mowing in the cold's getting old, I know. This is going to be a really nice warm up later this week. Diane, happy Easter. We'll get to spring eventually. Remo, happy Easter to you. Thanks for joining us on our YouTube channel. The family had a wonderful Easter. We did an Easter egg hunt yesterday. We had another little one this morning. I did the morning show this morning, so I've been up pretty long today. I've got to turn around and do morning show tomorrow. So this is going to be kind of short because I have to go to bed and get up in, I think, 4 hours now. So I just wanted to get this in because there's a lot to talk about. Courtney, Richard, Patricia, thank you so much. Thanks for sending stars. I appreciate that. Today's the last day of our stars contest. So if you haven't joined us last couple weeks for that, it's a thing Facebook does. And I certainly appreciate you don't ever have to do that. But this Wednesday on our Region Weather Live, we're going to draw names for all those that have sent stars over the last 3 weeks. I've put all the names together. I'm going to draw here on Region Weather Live. It's going to be a big moment. But anyway, what we're going to do is send you a Region Weather t-shirt. I sent a couple out this week. But anyway, we've got Region Weather t-shirts. I've got magnets and bumper stickers. I feel like a car salesman. That's not the case. I appreciate you, stars or not. But for all those that send stars, we'll throw your name into a hat. We'll go from there, okay? All right, guys, let's get to the maps. That's what you came here for. First thing, I don't think you can see this on your screen. I'm just going to show it anyway. You probably can't see these numbers. This is going to be real brief. These are your numbers from today in Valparaiso. I just want to show you a couple things. We knew it was cool today, right? We set a record low this morning. It was 27 degrees. Our records go back to 97, I think late 97 at Valparaiso Airport. So it's not, 100 years of records, but that was the coldest morning that we've had on April 17th, dating back to that date. So we set a record this morning. We made it up to 47. Where are our averages now? Where should we be? That's a big question, right? Because these springs tend to be on the cooler side the last 5 years. And it's like, wait, is this normal? Is this where we should be? No, we should be at 63 for a high, and 40 should be our low. So our high temperature was barely above our average low. We were about 16 degrees below average. How about that today? We're going to warm things up. Not right away. It's going to take a little while. Make this a little bigger so you guys can see it. But we've got a really nice warm up later this week. You've probably heard about it already, but we're certainly going to touch on that. So we've got a system moving in tonight. This system, here's the deal. We've got cold air in place across the eastern half of the country, right? There was a system up in New England that dragged all this cold air south. That cold air is in place. And what we're doing right now is we're putting more moisture into it. So this is one of those kind of not rare because it happened. It happened last year, it happened the year before. But this is one of those instances where we're throwing moisture into cold air rather than having a system that has cold air on the backside where that rain briefly changes over to snow. It's pretty hard to get snow this time of year, but we're going to do it again. So this system's coming in. There's not a ton of organization to it. The main area of low pressure is going to be down, weighted down to the south, but there's enough energy between a low to the north and a low to the south to keep that moisture that's coming in organized. So we're seeing it moving in right now. We've got a mix of rain and wet snow that's moving in from the west right now. That will continue overnight tonight. This wakes us up in the morning rush hour with still pretty much the same thing ongoing. Notice how it's not real organized, though. It's kind of piecey. We'll see it kind of blossom on radar, may go away for a little bit, may see a new area develop. So it's not real organized. It's not a slam dunk that you're going to see accumulating snow tonight. But I do think we are going to have areas tomorrow morning that wake up with a slushy coating to maybe an inch in spots. And the reason why is because not only do we not have the sunshine tonight, right? That's about the only time we can accumulate snow this time of year is at night. It's not always true if you get heavy snow during the day, but that's really the bulk of the time in April, late April especially, that we accumulate snow. So we've got snow falling at night, right? Wet snow. The other thing is the snowfall rates. We could get some pretty decent bursts of snow out of this. There's a real good amount of lift in the atmosphere that's going to create a pretty good chance for some heavier bursts of snow. And that column will be always saturated. So, we have a good chance of that all reaching the ground at a heavy rate. So that's the case. If you happen to be in a spot tonight that sees heavier rate of snow, big old wet gloppy snowflakes, that's the spot that's going to have the coating to an inch. Others may not have anything tomorrow morning. It's just going to be kind of sloppy outside. So tomorrow during the day, that main wave of energy pushes east. There's still going to be lingering moisture as that low to the north kind of starts sinking south. That will bring more cold air with it. You see it here on the forecast display for what the radar may look like tomorrow. You see how that main wave of energy is out towards Ohio. So we're saying goodbye to the kind of organized stuff. And then by afternoon and evening, we're still dealing with snow shower activity. It'll be mixing with rain at times. Some of you will probably just see all rain in the afternoon. Not a washout. It's going to be pretty scattered. But watch what happens tomorrow night. This low pressure kind of sinks down to the south. It gets absorbed in that main low off towards the east. But what that means for us is it's going to really orient the winds out of the northwest and really concentrate that colder air coming in here. So we've got a cold day tomorrow and another cold day on Tuesday. And Monday night into Tuesday, we'll see more so the bursts of snow because we'll have a little bit of sunshine in here. And you know how that's done over the last couple of weeks. You get some sun during the daytime with cold air aloft. You get those kind of popcorn-looking showers on radar that have the grapple. The grapples, those little Dippin' Dots, the ice balls. You have that mixed with raindrops, mixed with snowflakes. So that's kind of what we settle into Tuesday. Not quite the dreariness that we're going to have tonight. Once that moves out, this is as far as this model goes, but look what's happening out towards the west. Look at all these tight lines. That's very strong wind, but that's not a bad thing. That wind's coming right out of the south, and that's going to be a warming wind that's really going to get us going later this week. So let's talk about that, shall we? I've got it all prepped for you here. In terms of the modeling, in terms of the upper air is what drives everything. You have the jet stream between the cold and the warm air that helps drive weather systems. And this thing wobbles all over the earth. But the way it's going to wobble this week across our area, here's the area low pressure. The green areas, that's where you have some colder air aloft. The red and kind of brown and reddish colors, whatever you want to call those, down to the south, that's where you have some of the warmer air. So watch what happens this week. This low pressure drags the cold air in. We know that. But later on this week, there's a nice trough. We get kind of, medium Pacific air midweek. So we'll start to warm up, 50s, 60s, not out of question. But watch what happens out west. Way out towards the west, we get this trough off the coast of California. And that, remember, what comes down must come up. That trough or that area of low pressure that sinks south will kind of like a teeter-totter, unbalance things this way. And that will bring a big ridge of warmth across the eastern half of the country. This has happened, I believe, I have hash marks here, 2 times so far this spring here locally, where we've had a ridge across the eastern half of the country that's brought us warm air, and it lasted for about a day, right? It was out ahead of a cold front. This one has a little bit of staying power to it, which is nice. This happens this time of year. We get these longer little stretches of warmth. But man, can we just get one for a week? Wouldn't that be nice? But watch what happens as we go through time. This is Friday. Look at that nice warm ridge. Big area of low pressure out towards the west. So there's going to be some wind with this as well. But that low is really going to funnel warm air all the way up to the Canadian border. We are going to be spring fever around here on Saturday. I think we squeak in a dry day as it looks right now. We'll have to keep an eye on thunderstorms. We'll talk about that last here in a second. And then that warmth, as it goes north, you see a big low developing, but it doesn't really have a lot of cold air behind it. We kind of stay on the warmer side. And that's the way we look to end the month of April. So, we're sitting here April, 17th today. So we've got, a good 2 weeks before April's out, and it does look like the next 2 weeks feature warmer air after we get this cold chunk out of here. So that's some great news in terms of kind of where we're headed temperature wise and where we could head spirit wise as well, right? Because this has just been dragging on, has this cold air. Okay, final thing I want to go over is it going to rain or not? What kind of the systems do we look like this week? I'm going to zoom in for you so we can see this a little bit closer in terms of the rainfall chances. So earlier on this week, obviously we have the rain and snow mix tomorrow. The bulk of that's going to be tonight into tomorrow morning, and then it becomes more scattered during the day, as we mentioned. And then after that, our next system doesn't really arrive till Thursday. So this system pulls out. Here's your Tuesday. We still have some action around the Great Lakes as that colder air comes in. Wednesday looks okay at this point. Remember, we start to warm things up. Should be dry. It's our kind of recovery day. And then Thursday, here's our next storm system. This may sneak in here late Wednesday. We see clouds, might see a little bit of rain late in the day if this thing speeds up. As of right now, it looks like a Wednesday night and Thursday storm system. And this comes on the heels of, or actually on the preface of a very, very warm air mass that comes in this weekend that we're talking about. So we may see some thunder with this, maybe a little elevated. It's not exactly a warm front. It's more of a cold front off towards the north. So, warm fronts tend to bring us the thunder, the lightning, the hail sometimes if it's a really strong one. This one's going to be like a cold front that comes in and then turns into a warm front. So we'll see if we can squeak out thunder. Anyway, if you have plans Wednesday night, Thursday, we're likely to have some showers around. And then as that moves out, here's that warm front I was talking about. It kind of drags down, stalls, and then comes off towards the north. We may have thunderstorms around here on Friday as that warm air pushes in. Some of those could be on the stronger side. We'll have to keep an eye on that. But for now, just plant the seed that Friday we may have some action around here. And then Saturday, all indication right now is that that warm front lifts north. We have a nice dry air mass in here, strong wind out of the south, 80 degrees, not out of the question on Saturday. And then eventually that front will come in. Models kind of diverge on what happens with that, and rightfully so. That's a week away. But some kind of cold front will come in here with maybe some storm chances on Sunday or Monday. And then you can see how the Euro kind of slowly slides that along, but keeps the warmer air off towards the north. So we're looking good in terms of that. Final thing I want to show you here are the temperatures, because that's really the nice thing. We could just skip Monday, Tuesday if you want, but might as well show it, right? You can see the cold air that we have. This is Monday afternoon. We're in the 40s. So if we get any wet snow tonight, it's going to melt. It usually does during the day this time of year. So don't freak out tomorrow morning. You see Tuesday, we're still on the cold side. We're 40s to near 50 degrees south. It will be a little bit cooler near the lake. But watch this. Here we go. This is the good news. This is Wednesday. 50s ought to do it, right? Thursday, we can do a little bit better. We're in the 60s to near 70 degrees. This is as that warm front's trying to lift north on the backside of that cold front. And then here we go. Off to the races. Here's your cold air. This is that boundary setting up. Looks like maybe some cold air with the thunderstorms around on Friday. We'll see if that verifies. If the storms fire up north, we'll likely be in the 60s. But right now, the Euro is saying it's going to be kind of a raw day on Friday as we transition to that warmth. But by Saturday, I mean, this is going to be the first weekend in a while we've had nice weather around here, right? Near 80 degrees Saturday. It's going to be windy. It looks dry right now. And then Sunday looks warm out ahead of that front. You can see how we stay in the 70s. And then after that, no real cold air behind this. Still 70 degrees, says the Euro on Monday. And then we'll likely stay around there, still in the 70s on Tuesday. So we're not there yet, but we're certainly getting there. That's all I want to say. So we'll see. These up and downs are not uncommon this time of year. But boy, we go from 30s and 40 degrees and snow to start the week to turning on the ACs by Saturday. What a change, right? All right. Let's go ahead and answer your questions. If you have any, go ahead and ask them. Again, I hope if you guys just joined us, I hope you had a really nice Easter. I appreciate you joining me tonight. And then we'll get you on your way tonight. I'm sure you've got other things to do. I've got to get to bed as well, doing that morning show tomorrow. Also want to thank, I didn't do this off the top, but I've got my nice Tiger Plumbing shirt on. I really appreciate them. Our sponsors are just awesome, I'm telling you. But Grieger's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram out of Valparaiso, just pay them a visit if you can. If you're in the market for a new Jeep, boy, they've got a whole lineup out there on their lot. Jeeps are awesome, especially in the summertime. They're great in the winter too. But that's going to be the place to go for you. They're just wonderful folks there, family-owned business for years here in Northwest Indiana. And also Tiger Plumbing, Jeff and Kim. I've really gotten to know them over the last couple of months. They're just a fantastic group of people as well. I'm just so lucky to have awesome sponsors that keep this free. Tigerplumbing.net. If you ever need a plumber for anything, whatever it happens to be, dripping pipes, whether it be a clog. If you have kids like me that put things down the pipes, even though you tell them not to, just kidding. We have good discipline in this house. But plumbers are, hard to come by that are good ones. And tigerplumbing.net, they're a wonderful family-owned business. They've been around Northwest Indiana for a long time. So help them out if you can. All right. John asked a great question. With storm season upon us, are there any spotter classes being offered or where we can send pictures? For sure, John. The Weather Service is always great at taking pictures. I'll usually do after severe weather events. We really haven't had one in a while, but I tend to do a call out on our Region Weather Facebook page for pictures as well. And what I'll do is I'll forward those to the National Weather Service. And, as long as you have location, you have a picture, it's not something Googled offline, you're not trying to trick us. We'll verify those, we'll send them to the Weather Service, and then they go into the storm reports. So, the coverage in Northwest Indiana from our Chicago office, which is in Romeoville, the coverage in Northwest Indiana isn't usually that good. We don't typically get a lot of storm spotter reports out of Northwest Indiana. So that's one of the big reasons why we have Region Weather, right? We have a nice community of Northwest Indiana folks that can share weather information, but more importantly, we can share that with the Weather Service to give them kind of a total picture of how things go. So you can always message our page with that. In terms of storm spotter classes, they've had a couple offered there on their webpage, which is if you just search Chicago National Weather Service, you'll find it. They usually have storm spotter links somewhere in the top of the page if they're being offered. So I know they offer them in the spring. I want to say they just got done offering some, but there's some all the time. So for sure, check out the National Weather Service in Chicago. That's our local office. Yep, Holly says this isn't rare. Yeah, for sure. Diana, I don't know who came up with the word grapple. I feel like, especially on air, because we get grapple all the time this time of year, and man, people are like, what is grapple? Like, are you just making stuff up? Like, I always get some kind of viewer feedback that's like, what are you saying? So we try to explain it every time. But yeah, what a weird word, right? I wish we could do something else. Happy Easter to you, DK. Thanks for joining us. Mark just getting back from Virginia, or coming back from Virginia Tuesday, planning on coming back through Dayton. Should I pick a different route or break it up Monday night into Tuesday? Mark, you'll be fine. This isn't going to be a system that is really going to impact the roads a whole lot. If you're coming back, breaking into Monday night, Tuesday. No, I wouldn't do that. Just come back. You'll be fine. This isn't going to be a big deal. In terms of accumulations, I'll show you what we're dealing with. It's not much. It's very spotty. This is what the HER model's saying. You can see a slushy 1 to 2 inches in spots. I mean, that's not going to be enough to get it done. Other places don't see anything out of this. Our NAM Nest, this had more over towards Ohio, but yeah, the further south you stay, the better you are. You're going to have like 1 or 2 degrees warmer temperatures, but this isn't a big snow event. It's nothing you need to avoid. Go ahead and travel. You'll be okay. Maxwell, yeah, I know the farmers have been waiting to get going on this. At least most of them have in the Midwest and the Northeast. This is going to be a good week to get started on everything. If you have, sensitive plants or crops that you've planted, whether it be you're starting them inside, trying to get them outside, it's going to be, remember, you want to transition them to outside as well. So we don't want to throw them out in an 80-degree air after they've been, in the 40s and 50s or whatever it happens to be in your greenhouse. So just slow transition is key. We're not done with the freeze or the frost yet. At least we can't guarantee that because we typically don't say goodbye to that till May around here, early to mid-May, depending on where you are. So just keep in mind, I have a feeling a lot of people are going to go nuts this weekend, and they're going to, go to the garden store. They're going to get all sorts of plants. They're going to, get them all out and all that stuff. And we'll probably have another cold snap in May at some point. We typically do. So just go easy this weekend. Not saying you can't go to the plant store, but just go easy. I don't want you to lose all the plants you get. Jenny, you're welcome. Thank you for joining us. Happy Easter to you too. That's awesome. Jenny's adding grapple to her vocabulary for 2022. Very good. I'm glad. If you can take anything away from this, I'm glad it's something that you learned for sure. Yeah, Bonnie, listen, we're gonna get there soon enough. The problem is, I think your flight probably went somewhere else where the warm air followed you there, and then you came here. So next time, if you can get a direct flight, that would be great. That'll bring that warm air here. At least I think that's how it works. I'm not too sure. Mark, you're awesome. Thank you for the thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. But you're absolutely welcome. Yeah, D's ready for nicer weather too. D, I am too. Boy, it's still going to be nice this weekend to get out and probably buy some plants and probably put them somewhere. But man, I can't wait because we've been kind of in the doldrums for a little bit. So we'll only get better from here, but we got to get through tonight, tomorrow. Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to head to bed. Got a morning show to do tomorrow morning. So wake up time is at 1:30. That's only in 3.5 hours. That's not enough, but we'll get there. I hope you guys get some sleep tonight. Some tart cherry juice ought to do it for you. Thanks for joining us. So what we're going to do the rest of the week, we'll have a Region Weather Live, as I mentioned, on Wednesday night. That's when we'll do our stars drawing. So we'll get 3 names. We'll send you out some T-shirts. We'll collect your information on Facebook through our messaging program. And then you can wear your T-shirts and sleep just as well as I am in this Tiger Plumbing T-shirt tonight. All right. So thank you very much for everything. I hope you had a wonderful Easter. Thanks for joining us, and we'll keep you updated throughout the week. Again, don't freak out tomorrow morning if we have a little bit of snow. Okay. It'll go away very quickly. All right. Bye, everybody.